Hey guys, welcome back as we do another testimonial and just another get to know you of some awesome clients of ours. We have Dre and Estella on today, and they have a very unique story. For Macau, it's been the highlight of her soap opera year.
It's been one of those where I've just wanted to have, the interview
Yes,
because we want everyone to be like to have a testimonial, but this
this
is
is a
like,
pretty awesome one.
yeah.
So we'll lead in, and I guess Ray, since you signed up with us first, we'll let you lead in into. I mean, how did you guys get together?
Yeah, it was a weird, random thing. So we met in a Facebook group, and it was not a singles group or a dating group. It was a theology group of all things. And just, eventually started talking, hit it off. Um, and then, things kind of tapered. And then, ironically, I put a picture up after I had been on Damascus Steel for a few months, had lost about 30 pounds at that point. And then she messaged me about the weight loss and stuff and started talking again, and the rest kind of is history. Yeah.
How's your view of how things went, Estella? Give us a little bit of yours.
I would say that was pretty accurate. We still go back and forth about who messaged whom first. It was me. It was me. But we did meet in a group, and we did talk. It tapered off. I was dealing with a lot of very stressful things, and so I was gaining weight, and having problems with my knees and considering weight loss surgery. And then I saw Dre's weight loss picture, and I saw his picture and I saw he had lost weight. And so I just asked him, what had he done? Because I was, looking for things to do to lose weight.
I heard too, you didn't believe that it was a new photo of Ray, that you thought it was an old photo that he updated.
I did. I thought it was an old photo at first. And so I think I asked him, I was like, what are you doing? Did you have to give up sugar? Because I'm not giving up sugar.
Yeah, she did that,
yeah. That's hilarious. Oh, so you guys both ended up, well, Dre started out with us. He did the Damascus Steel program. Then Estella, you joined on. And where did it go from there?
Do you want me to say it? You want to say it?
Sure, go for it.
I think, we talked back and forth about Damascus Steel and how it worked. And he had great things to say. And so then I interviewed with you guys and we talked a little bit. And so I was like, well, since you're already, because I think you were still in at this point, I said, well, why don't we just kind of like help each other through this? Because, I was in bad shape when I started. So I needed all the encouragement I could get. And so, we would kind of check in and be like, hey, I worked out, things like that.
I don't know if we mentioned, but Dre, where are you located?
Just outside Philadelphia.
And where are you located, Estella?
I'm in Texas.
And so this whole time, it's been East Coast and Central time. So they've been working out and they've been keeping each other accountable long distance.
Yes.
But no talk of any sort of relationship at this time, right?
No, not right
No.
away. I forget the exact time frame. But not immediate, but it wasn't a super long time. Yeah, I forget the time frame exactly.
And this is the point where I have to add that, I think you guys had asked me, like, what are my goals? Like, why do I want to lose weight? And I said, there were two things. One, I said, I want to be fit, because that's still the goal. And then the other was I wanted to be dateable. And I remember Mikal was sitting on the floor writing something, and Chris, you were sitting in a chair, and she looks up and she says, Dre is a good man, Stella. He's a good man. And I was like, I know. That's all I could say. Because he was far away, I just thought I didn't, it wasn't a consideration. He's too far away. So yeah, he's a good man, but what does that matter? And so you said that a few times, and I was like, yes, I agree.
It was the Holy Spirit speaking to me.
Yes.
I remember that too. She talks about it all the time. This is her favorite, like, tune into Dre and Estella.
Yeah. It's like I'm watching a soap opera.
She stalks your Facebook feed, by the way. She sees all of the office stuff going back and forth.
But I love it. So Estella, when you started working with us, I know Dre at that time, he was just ending, I believe.
He was probably like a month and a half away from ending, something like that.
Yeah, Dre did a great job with his program when he was with us, and he like really like blew our minds away during that program, really working hard. And then Estella, when you started, what was it like for you when you first started the program?
It was difficult, but there were things that I appreciated. Like at that time, I was still going to rehab for my knee because I thought I needed surgery. Could not get in and out of the car, could not go up and down stairs without a great deal of pain. So you guys would give me challenging exercises, but with modification. So squats, but hold on to something, or lunges, but do it this way instead of that way. So I appreciated that you guys pushed me without, but taking into account that I had injuries and things like that. So it was difficult, but it wasn't, impossible. And I appreciated that.
Yeah. And that just leans on to what our heart is, and that's with working with people and just making sure that we make something customized to you that's not going to diminish I guess your mindset if you're not able to accomplish it. There's always ways that we can work around things to make sure that you're really getting the most out of it. So thank you for pointing that out. I want to ask a little bit. So I know you guys have done check-ins together, and so what was it like? I guess doing check-ins and then even checking in with each other on your own.
Right?
Yeah, I've always appreciated the check-ins, even though I didn't make them as often as I should have. But I think doing check-ins has always been something beneficial in terms of the questions being asked and hearing different responses. Checking in with each other, I think it helped a lot. We talked before we came on about the fact that I had still been losing weight even since the program, and a part of that is still the fact that me and Estella check in with one another, and so still keeping up with how frequently are we working out, how are we eating, all that kind of stuff to see make sure that we stay reaching for our goals and don't fall back into old negative habits and stuff.
How about you, Estella?
It definitely has helped. I think there was one time I remember I had a workout to do and I just didn't want to do it. I think it might have been a Friday one. And so Dre said, well, but let's hop on a call and we'll do it together. So he had a workout and I had a workout and we, pushed through it together. But I pretty much what he said, it's been helpful to have somebody at the end of the day who, you talk to and they'll say, well, how'd you eat today? Or, what do you think you can do? Or what's your plan for tomorrow? Things like that have been real helpful.
Awesome. And then I know you guys have both gone through and gone through a bit of the mindset stuff. What's your big takeaway as far as mindset wise when you're on this journey of, exercise and health?
I think the videos for me were usually really timely. Like if, maybe I had a stressful week at work, it just so happened that the video would be dealing with, ways to decompress or, prioritizing things. Like there was one you did about making, if everything is important, then nothing's important. It was something along those lines. I know that's not the right wording, but it did cause me to take a moment to think about, okay, what's really the most important thing? And then just prioritize things at the beginning of the day. And that was very helpful.
Awesome. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I would echo that. I would also say the ability to break things down into smaller goals. One of my issues beforehand was just looking at a daunting task like getting in shape and just thinking it's impossible. And so through some of the videos and modules that you put out, as well as even some of the things that we did while I was on the program, like we would set like little 2-week goals and things. And being able to break it down like that has been super helpful and really changed my mindset, how I approach things in general. I even think through, other things like, okay, I'm going to get this piece done in this time and this piece in that time, as opposed to looking at a whole big thing and thinking like, how am I going to do it? So.
Awesome. I know you want to ask something here.
So I know that they were working out together, and I know I'm gonna ask a lot about like their relationship.
I know you are, so go ahead.
So at the time when you guys just started doing that, there was no thought of marriage coming up. I just wanted to ask, like, when did you guys start to kind of
get more serious?
Yes. Because during that time it was strictly fitness and losing weight. How did that start? How did the relationship kind of start to spark?
Okay, so I think it was her before me, and so she'll have to tell you that. So, and here's why. Like, we said, we talked last year, and it kind of tapered. And so there was interest there before, but when it, things didn't go that way, it didn't go that way. So I kind of mentally, moved on. And so it took me a little bit of time to, be reminded of why I was interested in the first place. And so, but it wasn't a super long time, but she expressed interest at one point. And yeah, a little while later, I remembered or was reminded of, all the things that I admired about it to begin with, and went on from there.
It was a few days later.
Yeah, okay. Not like that. It was like what, better part of a week maybe? Not super long.
Yeah. So you had said that stuff to me about Dre being a good man. And then I was hanging out with a friend, and she said, if you met somebody and she didn't know this stuff about Dre. And she said, if you met somebody out of state, and it really was working out, would you move? And I was like, no, I would not. And she looked at me and she said, you're stupid. And I was like, I'm what? She was like, you're stupid. If I met a good man, she was like, I would pack up and move. And so those two things happened. And then Dre and I had talked, and he said that he was actually preaching, I think that Sunday, or you had just preached. And so he sent me a video of it, and I watched. And I was like, I am a stupid girl. Look how great. And so we started talking, and I felt like I needed to tell him what was going on during the time where things kind of faded away a little bit, because there were some things going on with me. And so when I told him that, I basically was letting him know that it wasn't that there was no interest on my part. It was just, there were a lot of life things going on, and I just needed to kind of focus on those things. And so as we talked, being the teacher that I am, I just brought to light some things that we had in common, because as an educator, that's what we do. We help people see things and understand things. So I was like, you see how we're talking? Isn't this something you said you wanted in a relationship? I'm just highlighting what I'm seeing.
Dre seems to remember that conversation.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it.
So fast forward a little bit. I guess you guys started visiting each other across state. How did that happen? What was that like?
yeah, so we had been talking and gotten, you know, pretty serious, and you know, only so much can be done virtually. So yeah, what was, I think the first visit was like May, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And, yeah, flew down and you know met her, and I think we were both trying to see like, is this really is this person the same in person as they you know present themselves on video chats and stuff. Um, and turned out yes, right? Like turned out like you know
Yeah.
we both were clearly like this is who we are, and got along great. So yeah, we've kind of almost every month since then, one of us has been flying to see the other.
Yeah, it started because we talked about how could we go on a date, like being so far away. And that's when he, you know, talked about buying a plane ticket. And he came here, and we were at a IHOP, I think. And we are talking about me going there. So I bought a plane ticket. And then it's been back and forth just about every month since. This has actually been the longest that we haven't seen one another in person.
Yeah, it's been since October.
Yeah.
It's not like Dre's counting the days or anything. So Dre, what was it like meeting your mom?
Oh my God.
Miss
Well,
Desi?
it was cool. Like so the first time I met Miss Desi, it was her and it was one of her good friends. And they were just funny. You know, and you know, it was just cool sitting there and listening to stories. There was one point where Stella made the mistake of leaving the room. Um, and I'm not going to get into anything, but it was just, yeah, I realized really quickly, like, oh, Miss Detsy is cool. Really funny. Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So during this time, Estella, you were going through the program and you're doing great. We're hitting it off well with your nutrition. You were meal planning. You were, sorry, you were having those just a great, like you saw, like the scale was going down and everything. Your mindset.
More than the scale. It was like the clothes were fitting.
Oh yeah.
That was a big difference.
Your progress was just phenomenal. So what was Estella like then compared to when you were starting?
I can remember doing a workout and I said, I can do a squat. Like, and it wasn't, I think, until the end that I told Chris, like, I did squats. I didn't have to hold on to anything or like modify. So there were a lot of workouts where I would tell Chris, like, I did this thing and I couldn't do it before, or I was able to do a whole round without stopping. Like, there were things that I noticed. And so, and it would usually catch me off guard, like getting out of the car. I didn't have to like do my, I call it the old man sound, like the, ugh. Like I didn't have to do that. I could just get out of the car. And so I started to notice more and more things like that.
Yeah. And I know you were wearing, what were those beads? What were those again?
Yes,
Refresh me on
waist beads. I had to get rid, they're on my door now, my bathroom door. They're a way, they're like adornment, but they're also a way to kind of track your weight loss. It's like a non-scale way to track things. And they were starting to slide so much that I had to get rid of those. So I got a different set.
There we go. That's real results. That's awesome. And, you know, we would during workouts and stuff, Estella would you know, I would test her with like box pistol squats, and the first time I put her on them, she blew me away, because I was like, all right, I'm not sure if she can do this yet, but I'm gonna put them in there and let's see. And then she was just right up, right down, like no issues at all. I'm like, how's your knee feel? Fine.
Yeah.
And she's had them like a lot since then.
Yes, a lot.
Oh man. So I'm going to get to some of the bigger questions, but I want to get to one more kind of weight related one for each of you. What's the biggest thing you've noticed, the biggest change that you guys have
had? For me, it's going up and down stairs. That has been, because I knew that the knee pain was related to weight. So even as recently as like yesterday, going up and down stairs, I was surprised at how easy it was. And there's one thing, I was going down some stairs and this woman saw me and she said, "Oh, I wish I had knees like that." And I was like, "You're telling me that? You have no idea these knees." But so that was surprising to me that other people look at me and think, "Oh, you did that and it was so easy for you."
That's awesome. How about you, Dre?
Yeah. Well, clothes size is one of the biggest things. But aside from that, I will say just general endurance, doing things, not getting tired as easily. Especially when it comes to like running around with my kids and that kind of stuff, like just being able to not have to think about that.
I remember you telling me too about breathing. I guess you.
Yeah, there were definitely points where I felt like my breathing was affected, and I didn't even realize it at the time. It was one of those things that, like, as I was, losing weight, getting healthier, I realized, like, yo, I haven't had any shortness of breath in a while. Like, it was, just one of those subtle things that I didn't even really think about too much, that I just kind of noticed, like, oh, I guess that was weight related.
That's awesome. All right, now I know you want to ask one of the dating questions.
Okay. So I know sometimes Friday workouts are difficult. A lot of times, Chris has to, hey, are you getting your workouts in? Were there any moments where Friday workouts you guys really had to connect together, maybe even worked out together, where anything, just kept the accountability going for those workouts? What was it like between the two of you and interacting?
Yeah, well, I think there's that time that Estella mentioned where I happened to be off of work, and so was available to like hop on and do a workout with her. Aside from that, aside from our normal accountability, like our normal just checking in with one another, I don't think Fridays in particular were any different. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I was thinking about, and I don't know if you wanted to talk about this, but during the course of the program, we discovered that I had a blockage in my heart. And so Dre was already going to be down here, but he changed his plans to stay longer while they did like a minor surgery to kind of explore and see what the blockage was and what was going on in my heart. So we did different workouts because, I had to kind of pull back, but we still checked in with one another. Chris, Mikkel and I did. And Dre, you and I did like jogging workouts or walking. And that was nice to just kind of walk around the neighborhood or jog a little bit together. So that was helpful for me when you were here and we did that.
Awesome. All right, now, so the bigger question. So you guys have something come up at the end of the month. Would you guys like to share a little bit on that?
Yeah, Christmas, man.
I wasn't waiting for that. That wasn't what I expected he would say.
That was an office answer right there.
Nah, so yeah, we're gonna be getting married on the 30th. So a little bit after Christmas, I'll be heading down there, and yeah, we'll be doing that, and then coming back up here in the couple of days after New Year.
Awesome. So married at the end of the year. So our very first time representing wedding. I'm a little upset that I didn't get to officiate, but it's okay.
He has been saying that.
Come on, Dre.
But look at this. Estella wanted to get in shape, and then she wanted to be dateable. She was already dateable, but she just needed to wait for.
Well, she needed to get the right one to date.
Right. And he just needed to also go through the program first so that they can meet and he can change that picture. Is that's the start of it. Like, oh, I changed my picture. Okay, let's talk.
Well, I think mindset has played a huge role in this too. And I would like to just say that you guys have both changed a whole lot during this process, mindset wise. I remember from day one call with Dre and day one call with Estella, you know, the kind of person you were then is not the same person we're talking to now.
Yeah, I tell Estella that all the time. This is not the same Estella.
Yes. There's a lot less tears of Estella.
Much stronger.
Yes.
Much stronger.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to ask too about you know, your experience with all those other people that we service. I know you guys all talked with them. You guys have become friends with them, you know, in the time you guys have been, you know, with us. How has that support been, even with, you know, you guys getting married? I know a lot of them were excited to see Estella's ring. So what was that like?
I enjoy, so I've had a chance to work out in the mornings with one group and then afternoons with a different group. So I've gotten a chance to, I think, maybe work out with more individuals in the program than maybe Dre had the chance to. And I enjoy it. I mean, you know, it's hard to complain when you've got someone in their 70s doing stuff. You're like, okay, let me just do the push-ups. And then sometimes it's, you know, like working out with Mikal and some of the others in the afternoon, you know, it's been, okay, we're going to all do a little extra work. So I think it's been good to push me and, you know, make me do things that I wouldn't normally have tried. Or on days where I'm just really tired, you know, you have the inspiration of looking at people who are, you know, older than your parents doing things and thinking, okay, I can do this.
How about you,
Yeah,
Dre? How's the community?
I would say the same. It's definitely encouraging. Sometimes because of my schedule, sometimes there will be other people on my workouts a couple times, but usually it was just me and you.
Yep.
But check-ins were always beneficial. You know, like a lot of the mindset stuff you mentioned, like I would get those reminders, or I would get ideas and stuff from what other people, you know, said and experienced and talked about in check-ins. And even, you know, the message thread, group chats and stuff, like those were super beneficial. And just coming up with things to, you know, help through challenges and just be encouraged through the process.
That's awesome.
I know during this time, maybe a couple months ago, Estella was trying to hit her goal of cardio.
Yep.
During the month. So I know one time Estella was like, I don't know if I can do this, but she was doing really good. And she did. She
made a goal. It was like 100 miles in a month.
Yeah. So what was that like, Estella?
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I think Chris, because at first when I said, I don't think I can do this, Chris was like, well, it works out to this many miles a day. And I was like, well, I can do that. So it was helpful. And I think at the same time in the group chat for ISI Fit, there were other people that were, you know, walking their dog or training for, I think, the Titan mud run thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nate was doing the Mud Titan. And
yeah.
Steve was also training for his Ironman.
Right. So it helped. And then I think and his wife was also walking. So, you know, it helped to see other people walking and Mikal would walk. So it was good to see other people trying to do stuff too. And if I said something like, you know, I walked this many miles, then, you know, people would celebrate it. And if they walked, I could celebrate them. So that was nice.
That's awesome.
I think Estella, you started with maybe like a mile and then increased to like a mile and a half. And then like you went up to 3.5 miles.
And then you started jogging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw that progression and we were really proud of you. Like every time you would show us your watch, your results, me and Chris were like, go Estella.
Yeah, well, I remember one of her goals too, she said, I want to be a runner.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that from our first call. And then she was like, I just jogged 3 miles. What?
Yeah. And I have to also say, and I want to highlight, you know, I did have the heart blockage. And so one thing I appreciated with you guys was it wasn't like if I couldn't work out that I just fell off the face of the earth. Like you guys were just as consistent with checking in and, you know, encouraging me when I was doing the exercise I was allowed to do by the doctor. And then when I was cleared to work out again, I feel like you guys put me in a good position. It wasn't too easy, but it also wasn't so challenging that I felt like defeated. It was a good way to enter back into, the weight training exercise with you all. So it was good that even when I couldn't work out with you guys the way I had been, I still felt like I was a part of the program.
Yeah, and I remember during that time frame we had paused training and stuff for you, so it didn't take away from any of your time, because I think we paused and you took like maybe 3 or 4 weeks off.
Yeah,
and then we started right back up from there. So I'm glad you pointed that out, because we want to make sure we set you guys up for success, and it's not just about running out the clock until you're done.
Right. We genuinely care about every one of you guys, and every single one goes through a different journey.
Yes.
So each journey needs to be taken care of individually.
That's awesome, guys. So we've talked about a lot. What would you guys like to share that maybe we haven't touched on, or maybe you guys want someone out there to know who is, wondering if this is for them, if we could help them?
I want to say something about Dre.
Go ahead.
I'm proud that he has lost weight even after, ending with you guys, because of the things that he learned. And that's been, inspiring to me to see, like, okay, even when he doesn't have the program, he's got the tools, the basic building blocks to continue losing weight and working out because of the things that he learned while he was with you guys. That's been encouraging for me to see. I'm proud of you.
I
would say this, going back to when, we first started, when I first was talking to you, I definitely had the feeling like I had tried everything, nothing worked. This was like a last, like, Hail Mary idea to try to work with you guys, and it worked. So I would say to somebody who has that same mindset, that like nothing has panned out, or for whatever reason, stuff is always tried and short-lived. What you guys do is push lifestyle change, right? You don't push a quick, it's a program, but at the same time, like, I remember hopping on a call with McCall, and she just like explained nutrition to me, like, so it's not just about just following what's on paper, but learning and actually understanding how this stuff works, so you can really make lifestyle change and really be healthy in general.
That's awesome. And that's a big part of our heart, is the teaching component, because we want you guys to have tools for a lifetime, not just, while you're working with us, getting results. So thank you for highlighting that.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything?
Oh, no, I love that it's Christ-centered and that we all pray for each other.
Yeah, that's been a big part of this too.
During this whole journey, whenever someone is with us, we pray for you guys. And every time there's something that's going on, even if it's not mentioned, we pray for you guys. So the biggest thing on our heart is to make sure that Christ is the center.
Yes.
And that we get to also share our hearts with you guys. You guys get to know us personally. Like, we're not just on the screen, but we become family.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's why we call it the Eyesight Fit Fam, because the body of Christ is a family. So we want to make sure that family knows that each other are, we're here for one another, and it's not just a client coach relationship, but it's a brother to sister to sister relationship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And now Mr. and Mrs.
Thompson. Awesome. Well, I know we were invited to the wedding. I don't think we're gonna be able to make it. We got way too much going on, but man, we wish we could.
I really want to go. Yes, I really like. Dre, let me tell you, when she told me that she has that, I think I did, like, she had the ring on.
She didn't even tell me. She just
I
That
was
was
jumping
Yeah.
up and down. I did push-ups in the back,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and Chris was like, "What is going on?" And because he wasn't in the conversation, it was just me and Estella. I was just so happy for Estella. It was so happy. Yeah. So ever since then, I've been the #1 fan.
Awesome. Well, that's all I got, guys. We had you guys for quite a bit. Thank you guys for sharing your testimony, your story. And I guess I'll say it for both of us. If you have any questions about what we do, you guys want to join the ISI Fit Fam, or if you want to just get some clarity on where you're at, feel free to reach out to us. Get in our direct messages. We're here for you guys. Let's start this journey together and go out there and make moves.
Not excuses.
There you go. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right.